Welcome back. All right, quick news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Monday, August the 18th. We are now a month to the day away from when a lot of the training camps are opening up, from what I've been seeing around the National Hockey League. So, about a month away, and then everybody's going to be like, hey, is hockey coming? And the answer's going to be, yeah, but enjoy your summer until then. That being said, I also want to say that for people asking how my wife's doing, I at this point, things are kind of the same. But they're going to do a CAT scan today, and depending on how that goes, she may have a little less of the apparatus attached to her at that point. So fingers crossed on that one. I am optimistic. She has been up on her feet, walking around a little bit as well. So I am hopeful that she will be home at some point this week, but there's no guarantee she'll be home by the end of this week. So, starting off at the top of the board, Garand, goaltender for the New York Rangers, signs a one-year, two-way extension, $775,000 at the NHL level, $100,000 at the AHL level, and a guarantee of $125,000. They also re-signed Boyko, so you will see both of their names on the New York Rangers season preview, which I will be doing later on today. Hudson Fashing has found himself a new home in Columbus. I like this signing. I like Fashing. I think that what he showed in New York playing for the Islanders was that he can be a good, versatile forward. He's never going to be a star on any level, for sure, but the hard work is there, and at times he can be pretty effective. So, no risk to this contract for Columbus. It's a two-way deal. Pays him $775,000 at the NHL level, of course. $250,000 at the AHL level with a guaranteed $350,000 price tag on this as well. That being said, I do think Fashing ends up playing for Columbus. Once you get injuries, there's always going to be injuries. We'll probably see Fashing up there. And I think they still have Brendan Gaunce in their lineup, or at least in their organization as well. So a couple of good veterans there. I always like when players have those veterans, or when teams have those veteran players that they can call up that, they stick with it. And I admire that. So it's one of those things I've talked about. I admire those players that stick with it and keep playing, even though they're not making the millions and millions and millions that some of their teammates are. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how much trade speculation I'm seeing around Mason McTavish. The weird thing I'm seeing with the Mason McTavish, all this speculation stuff, is just how speculative it is. In that it feels like it just keeps feeding on itself. I think he is one RFA who's seen as potentially a game changer, as probably a number two center at this point, but could develop into a number one center for a good team. And could get some number one center minutes with the Anaheim Ducks this year if that gets signed. I think the speculation is more just because he hasn't signed an extension than much of anything else. I've basically seen that things are quiet on both sides. It's kind of a bit of a standoff, but I still think they're going to work this out. I still think we're going to see McTavish end up staying with the Ducks this year. So I really haven't been reporting on it because every day it feels like it's a new team that's being tied to McTavish without any thought to whether or not the team that they're speculating on has the money to pay McTavish what he wants as a restricted free agent. Like a lot of the teams they're mentioning, I'm thinking, they don't have the cap space. How the heck are they going to make that work? So it's easy to have all of it out there. I just wanted to say that I haven't seen anything at this point that tells me he's on the move. Yes, now that I've said that, it means something's going to happen probably today. Yes, that's usually how that works, right? But anyways, I wanted to talk about it a bit here, and it is the silly season, so that's as close to speculation as I get, is for me to say, nah, I'm not buying into it. The Colorado Avalanche have been the first, by my count, who have signed one of the NCAA players who had their rights expire on August 15th. Defenseman Alex Gier has been signed by the Colorado Avalanche. He was originally a number 192 pick back in 2021 by the Tampa Bay Lightning. It is a 2-year entry-level contract for Alex Gier. These are free prospects who had their rights expire. I think it was like 25 players, overall. But yeah, so Gier is, again, by my count, the first of the NCAA free agents who has been signed so far this summer. But do not be surprised when other teams are picking up. It's a free prospect, so why not give a guy a chance? NHL 26. So I'm finding it interesting as NHL 26 is talking about we're bringing in this real player motion. Yeah, I've heard that one before. I understand adding the NHL Edge thing is different, but a lot of the things they're saying, a lot of the buzzwords they're using are the same. So today they're teasing that now as you be a pro that you go through the tunnel onto the ice and you have that tunnel experience. And they're bringing back the tunnel walkouts for your player. And right away, the comments underneath that post were, so you're bringing back stuff that we had 20 years ago in the game. NHL 07 is now NHL 2025 or 2026. And, honestly, I can't disagree. I think one of the most frustrating things with the EA Sports NHL franchise was how every time it went to a new platform, they would just strip the game down to the bare bones, and all of a sudden then they're re-adding things they took away. And as I've mentioned before, I don't play online. I like to play the offline modes, and they stripped those down, and it just made it a lot less fun for me to play. So that's why I haven't played an EA game in a while. Now the other problem is that I have a PS4. I'd like to get a PS5, but I don't have a house to use as collateral. So at any rate, it seems like it's a bloody insane price that they want for game systems now. So I don't have a way of getting NHL 26. I also think this puts me out for GTA 6 as well, because I'm pretty sure that'll just be on the PS5. It's so pricey. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Are you excited about EA's NHL 26, or are you of the mind too that, and I'm in that camp, where every time they talk about this big new innovation, because I've been collecting these games since, I think 2004 was the first one that I really got into. I do have previous editions as well, but 2004 on the computer, on the PC, that was really kind of peak for me. And then on the PlayStation, it'd be NHL 6 or NHL 07. Since then, it's just, I feel like they just keep reintroducing the same things and try to hype you up for stuff that they took away from you before. So sad news. So this is something that, for Canuck fans, Mark Kirton was a Canuck back in the 80s. He's been battling with ALS. During his battle with ALS, he was, I think he started a foundation for this as well. That is easily found online. He sadly lost his battle with ALS yesterday. So my condolences to Mark Kirton's friends and family. He was one of those players that was usually third line. He wasn't necessarily the most talented, but was he a hard worker? Absolutely. So my condolences there. And that does bring me to the end of today's news video. So still kind of quiet because it is the middle of summer, but I wanted to provide an update today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Again, thank you guys so much for all your support. And I know that my wife's been blown away by the support she's had. A lot of new followers on Instagram, all kinds of friend requests she's getting on Facebook. She's really been quite surprised by the reaction online. I've been telling her for a long time that she's a great person and people see it, and I think so. In the midst of everything that's going on, that's one of those silver linings, and I've been trying to find those silver linings where I can. But thank you guys so much for all your support. I do look tired. I'm not sleeping very well, obviously, so I'll throw that out there too. And no, I'm not a big fan of Jamie Benn. If you didn't know that I'm not a big fan of Jamie Benn, welcome to the channel. You must be new. Going back to 2017, I think was the first time that I ranted about Jamie Benn. I think it was 2017. I know I ranted about him in 2018. I'm pretty sure I ranted about him in 2020. There have been numerous rants about Jamie Benn, usually related to playoffs. So anyways, there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated, as I said. If you haven't already hit like and subscribe, please do. But yeah, thanks again. I'll talk to you guys soon enough.